almost black. So
it's not a game, it's a rich thing.
what's up, ZTR fam? I'm sitting here waiting on Jay to come out the store, but I got a few minutes to make a quick video for y'all while I sit in the car waiting on him. Y'all know I'm in the passenger seat because I ain't doing no more driving. He about to be 18, so I'm trying to get him ready for the road. So y'all look out, because there's about to be another one of these 18-year-olds on the road. Anyways, let me stay politically correct. But so let's talk about this, man, because I got a few minutes. Let's talk about this. So I've been going live a lot on TikTok. So if y'all interested, I mean, if y'all want to see us go live with the puppies and stuff, if y'all want to see us in action live, and not only, you know, one of these YouTube videos where you can ask us questions in front of everybody, put us on the spot if you want to. Check us out on TikTok, TikTok Live, and I think, yeah, ZTR Rottweiler. ZTR Rottweilers is at the bottom of every post that I make on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I post the same thing. I probably change one or three words per the whole text description whenever I post pictures and stuff of the dogs. But people always, breeders, I notice every breeder say this. I always get the question. That's the quote of the day. I always get the question, and I do. I always get the question that this one is a lot, and it's been happening a lot recently. So I figure I'd talk about it, especially since we're going live. A lot of people asking, why don't we have tails on the dogs? And it's real simple. Real simple. I ain't trying to get technical and fancy like you catch some of these other guys and be trying to get fancy and technical with it. Very simple put. As long as I've known the Rottweiler, and I was born here and raised in America, whether y'all believe it or not. As long as in Dallas, Texas at that. So before I moved to Arkansas. So as long as I've known a Rottweiler never had a tail. I didn't even think a Rottweiler could grow a tail until I got somewhere, probably maybe high school, because my only knowledge of the Rottweilers is what I seen that was local to me. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and a lot of you older cats that were born in the 80s and 90s, you know, last decade, last century, you know, we old now, the last century. A lot of you guys, it was a point in time when you see a Rottweiler that had white on his chest or had white markings everywhere that was supposed to be brown, you actually thought that was cool. And then for those people that really was paying attention, they got lucky and got a chance to see certain Rottweilers. You remember the red Rottweilers about the color of these seats in this truck? They were red. The black was about this color, and then the brown was almost my complexion. The dots, the under neck and across the chest, and the socks on the dog was about my color. So it was, everybody called them red Rottweilers. And if you're not familiar with that, Google red Rottweiler. And then also, I just want every color that you see in the Doberman breed is a gene that came from. Now I can't listen. Y'all know I'm not the one that's gonna tell you some bullshit that I don't know what I'm talking about. But the Doberman did come from the Rottweiler, okay? Just like the Rottweiler came from Burmese Mountain Dogs and a couple other breeds. Some of those genetics pass, and all those different colors that did I say German Shepherd? Or did I say Doberman? I meant Doberman. If I said German Shepherd, put German Shepherd in the comments. And make sure y'all please like and subscribe. I see a lot of y'all watching, but I ain't seen a lot of y'all subscribing. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man, so I'm sharing this knowledge with y'all. But a lot of back to what I was saying, a lot of the the Dobermans, not a lot of, but all of the colors that the Dobermans display. You got that black, you got that chocolate brown, you got that reddish brown, and a couple other colors. I think they even got some new colors nowadays. Now, I'm not a Doberman. I love the way they look. One of my favorite dog movies was about the Dobermans that were, what do you call it? Robbing the banks. That was one of my favorite dog movies, period, outside of Cujo. Who remember Cujo? If you remember Cujo, put Cujo in the comments. Cujo was a good one. So I grew up watching dog movies and stuff like that. And it's a couple guys that, if I'm wrong, I know they watch sometimes and they'll correct me. And I do watch a couple other guys. So I think one of the guys' name is, I can't think his name. He's from Mississippi, but by way of California, he's, it's called Doberman something. Good brother, got a lot of podcasts and stuff. Y'all go check him out. I can't think of the name of it. I'm sorry, man. And I ain't got my phone on me. Well, I got my phone, but I wouldn't know how to find it. But so long as I've grown, for a long time, all I knew was that the Rottweiler didn't have tails. And so for the most part in the United States, not just me, it's the same thing with all of my customers. Most of my customers are older guys, anywhere from their 30s to their 40s and older. And most of us remember Rottweilers with big heads, even though the heads wasn't as big as they are now. Big heads and didn't have tails. And on top of that, the German ones at the time were always the better Rottweilers, better looking ones. And so a lot of people also can tell you this too. They associated that American Rottweilers were pretty much sucky. And they associated me. I associated with American Rottweilers having the light brown, because I don't really care for the light brown, to be honest with you. It's 3 shades of brown. You got the mahogany, and it's just depending on who telling you this. We all talking about the same thing. We just might got different ways of describing it. But you got mahogany, you got dark, and then you got that light brown. Light brown is like a khaki. I don't really like the khaki. The mahogany, if you're looking at diesel, that's mahogany. And macho, those are mahogany colors in Vegas. The majority of my dogs. And then you got your dark ones, which is Medea, Dallas, and Ossie. Those are dark Rottweilers, okay? Their brown is almost black. So, I almost lost it. See, I'm trying to do this. I knew it was going to happen sooner or later, but it happened later. So, all right. So everything is straight. All right. So that is the reason why we dock the tails. Now, in the beginning, I used to, and I'm not 100% saying that I won't do it, but it's going to be some stipulations that come with it. Some people might request me to, they want a dog with a tail. And I don't have a lot of litters with tails because a lot of people, the majority of my customers want a dog without a tail. So I'm not going to produce a litter and leave the tails on there and can't sell the puppies, okay? And for one thing, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to make it work. This is crazy. I'm going to get it though. Hold on. Just stay with me. Bear with me. All right. It's just going to have to be a little crooked. Maybe not. Let's fix it. Can I do it like this? I don't want to. Hopefully that works. All right. So, what was I saying? Yeah. So, in order for me to, when I produce a litter, the majority of people want the tails cut, so I'm gonna cut the tails. That decision has to be made within 3 to 5 days of the puppy being born. Now, a lot of y'all may think that don't do this breeding stuff on a regular basis. A lot of y'all may think that that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. One, simply because after about the 5th day, depending on your vet, listen to what I'm saying, words have meaning. Depending on your vet, it's considered a surgery. So my vet may say 3 to 5 days. Your vet may say 2 weeks. What's important or significant about that is, one, the price. Now, the majority of y'all, where we sell our pups to, y'all live in larger cities. Y'all know every time y'all go to the vet, it's about $1,000, it's anywhere from $600 to $1,000 just to pull some feces and look at something. For whatever reason, y'all vets are extremely expensive. You damn near have to have insurance on your dog in order to pay for all the vet fees. So that's why we always try and tell y'all ways that y'all can avoid the vet. And that's why I suggested in the last video that you call your breeder before you go to the vet, because a lot of the stuff that y'all finding out from the vet, you can find out from the breeder if you just talk to the breeder when certain things arise or whatnot. Don't take that like nothing as bad is happening. Man, take it for what I'm saying to you. I'm trying to help you save money. I know my dogs. I done sold a whole lot of dogs. And I know what you're gonna see when you go to the vet. And I know what you ain't gonna see when you go to the vet. And nothing's ever a surprise. So, but it's a surprise to you or you potential owners simply because you hadn't been raised with this particular line of dogs. You don't know what to expect. No big deal. But to get back to what I was saying, so one, here, I'm gonna cut this off so it won't vibrate that much. So the thing about it is, so not only does it get it after the 3 to 5 days, it becomes a surgery. Now it gets expensive because it's a surgery and it's not just a tail docking. And it's without getting too scientific about it, what's going on is basically the bones in the tail along with the vertebrae have not fused together, but have not become to a point to where you can just cut off the tail, and at that point it's just a tail, because they don't have any control of their tail or anything like that in the beginning. And once you can cut it and it don't really affect them. The skin will grow over and the tail will just heal, and then it'll just be about this much tail versus a whole long thing. The other thing is too, and this is just kind of off the rip, is that I don't even know how Diesel and Diesel and Dallas and Medea, I don't even know what their tails would look like. They could be shaggy tails, long, fluffy, shaggy tails. I don't like that. Or they could be the nice pointed rat tails like what Osi and Vegas got. I like those tails, and I specifically like them on my girls. Like I told you, we keep some of my girls, I keep the tails on, and some of them I don't. But that's if I know I'm keeping one. And that's usually from a litter that I got overseas, which I don't do anymore because I got everything I need over here. So if I got a dog from overseas, like a female, which I normally do, the first litter, I let the whole litter have tails. I've done that plenty of times. That's kind of out of respect for the breeder giving me an opportunity. I don't have to do it, but I do it. And I don't deal with everybody. I only dealt with a few. That's kind of me showing respect and appreciating them for letting me have it, because over there they won't cut the tails. Matter of fact, I done had some of them buy from me because we do cut the tails. And not just me, but they buy from Americans because we don't have those laws and regulations that keep us from docking the tails. They can't do it overseas. So another reason would be just trying to, so when y'all buy a puppy from a breeder, every human does it. It's a human thing. It's not a you thing or a person thing. So I'm not talking bad at you or talking down on you, none of that type of stuff. I'm really just educating y'all. This is just for educating purposes. And I wish they stop banning me off of TikTok because I'm just teaching y'all some stuff. But from y'all's perspective, you got one breeder dealing with you, and that's it. But what y'all don't see is that the breeder is dealing with 13 other people that has, for each one of those other 13, the 6 to 13 puppies that's in the litter. So you may not think that the breeder is treating you good when in actuality he is. Sometimes you have to do something that was good for the group and not what's best for you individually, and in order for everybody to be happy. Or you can call it communism or whatever you want to call it, but I have to do what's good for the group and us. And of course, in my, when you reach out to me, the first thing I do is I send you an email before we even really start talking, so you can take a look at that PDF file that I got to kind of tell you how we do things. And by you agreeing with it, you basically saying that you agree to the terms and conditions on how I sell my dogs. Because it's not regulated. Some things are regulated. The AKC watches to some things. But for the most part, we just a bunch of cowboys out here doing this. And hopefully you got a good cowboy, not a bad cowboy, because they do exist. What was I going to tell you? So it just can get real complicated. Like I said, you got to make that decision within 3 to 5 days. The way I do it right now, if you call me, because I done had this happen just 3 or 4 times in the last couple of days, they asking could they have a tail. And so I started to consider, but the only way I could do it right now, and the way I'm thinking this may change, is one, if you you got to pay for the puppy up front. It's 100% pay for the puppy up front. No deposit or nothing. So that's what I mean. Now, normally I require $300 deposit, $300 to $500 deposit, depending on which litter it is, yada yada yada. But you have to put down the complete payment of the puppy. The reason why is because, again, what y'all don't see is that on my side, I see people they'll put $300 down, and this is just for a regular pick. This is not nothing requiring a tail or nothing. It's just something as simple as a regular pick. They put $300 down. I have the $300 for 6 months, and I had 3 litters. They don't want nothing from out of the litter. Then because they waiting on a particular dog. The next 6 months, that dog started to have puppies. All right, so they start paying. Maybe they pay $50, maybe they pay $100, yada yada yada, and start paying on it. And then they'll be like, last minute. And hey, before I say this, don't none of y'all take this personal, because a lot of y'all that watch this have done it. It's nothing against you. I'm just trying to educate everybody else that's coming after you on how we do something, so they don't be expecting stuff. From things that we don't do, i.e. give refunds. So y'all heard it here. If you ain't seen it, if you ain't read it in the files, we don't give refunds. Once you locked in with us, that money is gonna go to a dog, or you just basically donating to the ZTR fund. All right. What was I saying? Yeah, a lot of y'all look at it from y'all's perspective, so I have to. What was I finna tell y'all? Y'all bear with me. Get fun. Yeah, so they'll be done put all this money into me, and then something happens, and trust me, I understand. Stuff happens all the time. We're trying to make the best out of this life every day, but things happen, and who knows what's gonna happen. But that's why my guarantee to you is that as long as you got money with me, you got an opportunity to get a puppy. But I don't guarantee no refund. So they'll say, hey, and I'm trying not to single out any particular person by giving an example of somebody's situation, but so let's say that my uncle's wife is obese, and she went to Arby's and ate a whole bunch of those new deer nuggets, and she got sick, and now she's in the hospital. I'm trying to help pay for it. I've heard stuff like that. Now, whether they lie or not, that's not for me to determine. But at the same time, I can't have you putting that money into ZTR's fund, ZTR's fund, and then we use them funds to take care of the dogs. Y'all thinking that we use them funds to live our best life when we not. A lot of that money, probably about 70% of that money goes to the dogs. All right. So when you put your money down with an individual, and this is probably why most breeders do it, this is why we do it, I can tell you for sure, is that I'm not a bank. You don't put money in my account and then watch it grow interest. Once that money's there, it's getting used. So it's no longer there. So it's nothing for me to give you. I'm not giving you money out of my account, my personal account, the money that I work for at my regular W-2 job, one of my businesses. So long story short, we're not a bank. And so if y'all give us that, if you want, so that's why you have to pay. That's where I'm going with it. That's why you have to pay all that money. That's why you have to pay the puppy up in full, is because people change their mind all the time. And I can't have a puppy that has a tail that I can't get rid of, I can't sell, because you decided that you couldn't pay for the puppy in full. And like I said, that particular example at first didn't have nothing to do with a particular puppy tail, that was just a regular puppy. I get that so many times. People just back out at the last minute. And I give you plenty of opportunity. When, as I said before, I'm constantly sending you updates and stuff like that in emails and texts letting you know, hey, it's 3 weeks. At 5 weeks, the puppy has to be paid in full, yada, yada, yada. Just kind of give you a heads up. Go ahead and plan out your trip, because if I had to bring it to you, it's going to be extremely expensive. The reason why, and I'll give you an example. I'm going all over the place, but I'm just trying to tell y'all why we do things. I'm trying to paint a clear picture so you understand. Again, and she loved it. And she actually one of my favorite customers, because she, our favorite owners, I call y'all owners, not customers. She one of my favorite owners because she sent me all the pictures of Rip. Y'all seen it, Rip. And I love that. And she take good care of Rip. And she always liking our page and all that good stuff. But Rip was supposed to go to her via her carrier, but somebody didn't show up or something didn't happen right, and she couldn't come. She couldn't get the dog on the 8th week like everybody's supposed to or is required to. Because if you don't get it on the 8th week, if you ain't read my letter, if you already read my letter, then you know this. But if you don't, after the 8th week, every week that I keep that puppy, it's a boarding fee, and that boarding fee covers food, my time spent with that puppy, and everything going with it. I can't give you nothing for free. It's a business. It's a business. It's a business. It's a business. And if you notice, everything around us, people charge us for everything. You run your credit card, they're charging 2.5% tax. Everything done went up. The dollar just going down. Yada yada yada. So, but we just got to deal with it, right? And so the business is not going. They telling you they're giving you a discount, but they pushing that. They're getting that out of you some other kind of way. I'm not doing that over here. But what I'm telling you is that it becomes a boarding fee after the 8th week, because I give you enough heads up to let you know that what time it is required when you're required to pick up the puppy. And if I'm still holding on that puppy, I'm still feeding that puppy, still cleaning up after that puppy, still taking that, feeding that puppy and all that good stuff. That's time out of the business that we could be focusing on other things. So we had to charge for it. So back to what I was saying. So those reasons kind of got off subject a little bit, kind of. So it all goes together, but it's really complicated. Really complicated. I hear a cam chopping, you know, I like race cars. It's really complicated to have one puppy or two puppies that has tails while the rest of them don't have tails. It can be done, but it's some extreme measures that have to be met. If I find out a way, or if y'all know a way that I can do it and it can be fair for everybody, then I do it. But if it messes up a whole bunch of my stuff, meaning the way we do things, just to please one person, I can't do it. It's just not the way I'd rather proceed. I'd rather for everybody to be somewhat happy than one person just to be the only one that's happy. Because like I said, if you put your deposit, if I allowed you to put your deposit down, I would have to get, well, I'm not gonna even say that. If you put your money down, I would have to pick the puppy for you. Because because at 5 days old, like I said, they have to have their tails cut before they're 6 or 7 days old, right? That's what my vet do. They don't really look like nothing at 5 days old. They all look the same. The only difference in them is how long they are and how big they are. That's it. And it's really not guaranteeing nothing. I'm telling you, because even when y'all start to see them at a week to 3 weeks old, when I start finally showing them, y'all thinking that, oh, that's going to be the big puppy. Yeah, that's not the case. A lot of time, man, the biggest puppy in this just recent litter, which was between OC and Diesel, was Big X. Big X is the white one on the straight. By the time Big X was a monster. We gave him that name from the rip. And the reason why we know it was him is because he had the little white on his chest. He was a monster when he came out. I mean, it was no comparison with him and others. We just knew he was going to be the beast. That's why we called him Big X. By the time he was 3 weeks, everybody started catching him. By the time he was 5 weeks, he was one of the smallest males. And at 8 weeks, Big X hadn't even got picked yet. So I still got Big X. So y'all thinking just because of what they look like when they puppies, and I told y'all this time and time again, y'all thinking because of what they look like when they puppies that they gonna be something, but that's not always the case. Not gonna be anything. They all gonna be something, but that's the puppy. Nah, man, they change so much. We all rolling the dice. Even I'm rolling dice. When I pick one, I'm rolling dice, but my guess is a lot better than your guess because what? I've seen these puppies before. I know what a Diesel look like. I know what a Dallas look like. I know what a Macho look like. You understand? I know what an Addison looks like. I know what a Twitter look like. I've seen it so many times, I kind of got an idea what's going to be something. And that's why all of my dogs look good, because I'm a breeder of my own kind and I have my own dogs. And I got my own line. I know what to look for. And I'm constantly trying to control that mix so that they all produce the same thing. And when you get something, off of me, you getting a ZTR dog that looks like a ZTR dog, what you think a ZTR dog is, what you see on our YouTube, TikTok, and all that type of stuff. Now, without going into the other stuff, just think about that. Every time we introduce another male into our community, our dogs, it threw everything off. And so when you're getting a dog from two, when you see these guys post these flyers with these two dogs, and one of the dogs ain't theirs, and then the other dog is theirs, it's usually the female that they own. They don't own the male, or they don't even own the female. They'll import the female. What you don't know is you don't know nothing about the parents. You don't know what the mama looked like. You know the dad looked like. You don't know if the mama had heart problems. You don't know if it had white stuff on the chest. You don't know if they had a bad bite, bad hips, or you don't know that they could have been monsters. So it ain't always negative. It can be positive too. But that's a good thing when you get something from somebody that, one, keeps their own stuff, two, shows you all of their different types of shows you all. You see all of their animals dynamically, not static. Meaning static means you just taking a picture. Now y'all can go on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram any time and look at over 600 videos of all our dogs moving around, so you know what you're getting. You see how they act. It's not just me telling you what their temperament is like. You actually get to see them. Now, let's get away from that. Let's get back to the reason why we don't do the tail letting the tail grow or whatnot. So those two reasons, those are the two main reasons. We got 26 minutes out, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So those are the two main reasons, y'all. One is that let's call it three reasons. One is because you gotta pay up front. You gotta pay up front because I gotta have that before you have me stuck with a puppy that we can't rehome to somebody. All right. And people minds change all the time. They might decide to go with another breeder, yada yada, whatever. So that's one reason. The other reason why it is because we do our picks based on deposit date. I told y'all that. So again, if somebody put theirs down in January and somebody else puts theirs down in February, the January is gonna have the first pick before it's gonna have a pick before the February pick, right? But the thing about it is that where do you fit in at? Because you got to make the pick in 5 days, but we don't make our normal picks until 7 weeks, 8 weeks. So I can't let you make a pick because that wouldn't be fair. And it wouldn't be fair to you because they all look the same at that age. So the only way we could do this is I went in there and I picked a puppy. But then that wouldn't even be fair because it would be somewhat of a bias because it's kind of cheating because I know what to look for. And then so if I did that, the other people that I'm not picking for are going to say, man, you knew exactly what you was doing. You was picking something for this guy. You knew what to get. You knew what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? So you get all these extra excuses and stuff. When I wasn't trying to, I was just trying to make this one guy happy. So just because of that and the complications of it, those two reasons, and then the last reason is I forgot the last reason. He just called me and we'll talk about it. But those are the reasons why I don't do it. I don't want to do it no more. I tried and wanted to do it. I used to say I would do it, and you'll see a lot of guys that come into this is now starting out doing it. They'll offer that. But the people that's been doing it for a while, it's either all the puppies or none of the puppies. It's just the bottom line. So I made the suggestion to one of the guys that called me today. I said, man, you probably should go look for a guy that, that does tails, that doesn't cut the tails, because I don't really want to do it. Now, I will do it, but it's going to cost you in some kind of way. And I think that's all. I know I've been skipping around. Yeah, I guess I'll go back to this real quick. Remember, I was telling y'all about the dog, Rip's parent owners. Their breeder, their carrier didn't show up. So Therefore, they were gonna have to pay so much every week in order for me to keep that puppy. They were already at $2,500 at the time, and I think she had, I don't know if she paid a little bit more or whatever. It was either $2,500, $2,000, or $3,000. I don't know, but she didn't want to have to pay that, and she wanted a puppy. And it was never no animosity, no bad stuff to come out of it. I just, because everybody knows how we operate, and I tell y'all this all up front. And it's all in that paperwork that I give you when you get this. It's no surprises. The only person that can be surprised when these puppies go, and this is good information. I'm glad I'm actually saying this. The only person that can be surprised is really just me, because I'm the one that if I don't, like, if you get a piece of paper that says how we do stuff. Now, if something is not on there, and then a new situation arises that I haven't been seeing, boom, I'm surprised. And I don't know how to react to it. And the only way I can fix it is to fix it on the next letter. I'm not going to fix it right there. We'll just do our best to make both of us happy. But a lot of that stuff that's in that PDF file is written in blood. And what I mean by that is it comes from problems that had happened in the past. And that's me trying to fix it to keep everybody happy. But back to Kristen. So she got ripped. But she got ripped because she paid us to leave the kennel. For her to fly down would have been about $300, but she would have had to wait 2 or 3 weeks for her to arrange to be able to come down there and take a flight to get down there to us. 2, she could have had another carrier come get it. Normally, if you let my carrier know well ahead of time, she can make plans, and if she can get a bunch of y'all together with like 3 or 4 puppies, she'll give everybody a group discount. On top of the discount she'll give you for just using ZTR. But you can't tell her that you're using ZTR and you ain't picking up a Rottweiler, so don't even try it. The other thing is that if you, she could have flew down, she could have had the carrier, but the carrier would have cost her about $1,200 because it was going from here up to somewhere in the New York area, Ohio, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Ohio, somewhere in that area. But she would have had to wait because the carriers just don't leave their house when you call them. They're not like Amazon. You order today and they're there tomorrow. What they normally do is they get a whole bunch of puppies together and they kind of schedule them at the same time, and then they make their routes there around the United States or whatever. So she could have did that way, but she didn't want to wait because, again, she would have had to pay me. The other way was for her to just pay me. And I offered her all 3 of them. I told her we could do either one. She chose me. And so we jumped in a van and we drove up there and we drove back. Now, it cost a lot more than what it would have cost to fly down here, because like I said, it would have been about anywhere from $300 to $600 to fly down here. She would have had to put the puppy in this situation. She would have had to put the puppy up under the plane because at the weight that it would have been considered cargo. She would have had to wait 3 weeks because after about 8 weeks, the puppies, because of their weight combined with the bag that you put them in, they over a certain amount of pounds, and it's all depending on which airlines that you use, that she would have had to pay a cargo fee or buy a ticket for the dog. So it would have been double, $300 plus $300, or $600 plus $600, $1,200. That's why you got to get them at 8 weeks, because once they get over 8 weeks, they exceed the weight that they need to be for you to order, in order for you just to fly down, pick up the puppy, put it in your lap, and fly back and with the puppy for the same price as just your ticket. So the last option was for me to get in the plane, and not get in the plane, but to bring it to her. And of course, I got to factor in my time to leave the kennel, my time for the gas to drive up there, and all that. Just a whole bunch of stuff, and then the mileage. So it was expensive, but she paid for it. And it was worth it to her. I didn't hear nothing out of them. Always the best customers, the people that know what they want. Ones that's been doing their research and watching this the whole time. She got ripped, and I get more pictures from her than just about more than. There's only probably one other owner that sends more pictures or sends pictures, the amount of pictures that she sends. That's it. So. Why we don't do tails? Now you know. Why we prefer to don't do tails? That's why. It ain't because I like to cut the tails off just to hurt them and nothing like that. Hell, I told y'all that my females, I really want I like my females with tails. It's kind of, I don't know a word for it, but it's It's kind of like when you, most of y'all probably ain't had a cat, so I ain't gonna say that, but I ain't never had a whole bunch of cats, but the one cat that I had, you pick it up and it purred, and the vibrations in it would kind of make you feel good. Not like a tingling sensation, but it was just a relaxing feeling. And so it's like a therapy for lack of better words. The same thing with the dogs with tails. I don't know what it is about them. It's a real feminine thing for my dogs to have tails. I ain't too much wanting one on no male dogs yet, but so that's it, y'all. 501-414-1219, 501-414-1219. Make sure y'all go check out our TikToks. We go live on them. And they be kicking me off of there all the time. We on there cracking jokes and stuff. And I guess some of them people, I'm gonna say them Karens be in there telling on us, saying that we selling dogs. I try my hardest not to say the sale word, the B or the P word is what I call it. Buy or price. I don't mention either one of those. I just say, call me, 501-414-1219. But people be in there asking all the time how much we sell them for, and they be blowing up. So we get on there a lot because we're getting a lot of attention on there. 501-414-1219. ZTR Rottweilers. Until next time, y'all. Peace out.